Okay, so hi everyone. I'll be going through this worksheet 1, which is on quadratic equation and fractional equation. So mainly is to teach you guys how to use the complete and square method to solve the quadratic equation, as well as using the formula method, okay, which we'll be going through in just a few more slides. Okay, so firstly, we'll have this kind of question whereby you can just use the factorization method, which you will see that the common term, which is b. So you can take out the b and you'll get something like this. Okay, so eventually you can just go ahead to just say b equals 0 or b plus 5 equals 0. Then this is your first answer already. So the second answer will just be a minus 5. Okay, so as straightforward as that. So that will be our one question down. Okay, so let's try again for the next question. So eventually, both of them also have b. So we just take out the b, which will just become b equal 0 or b minus 8 equals 0. Then eventually, b will just be equal to 8. Okay, so both of them are going to be answer. Okay, then after that, you have this part C here. So part C, it will still be the factorization method, but just that you'll see that, okay, I can take out b, but what is left behind will be 2b plus 7 equals 0. So no worries, just go ahead with it. So b equals 0 or 2b plus 7 equals 0. So b equals 0 is your first answer. Then you have another answer here. So this answer will be a fraction already. So eventually this will be a negative 3.5. Okay, so these are both of your answers here. Okay, then part D. Okay, let's use another color. So you have something like this. Okay, so just take out the common term. So eventually take out 3b. You'll see that what I left behind will be a b minus 4. Okay, so same thing, just take 3b equals 0 or b minus 4 equals 0. Okay, so b equals 0, then here will be b equal to 4. Okay, so these two are your answers as well. Okay, moving on. For part E, you'll find this. Now you see that the 10b is on the other side. So most of the students will think, oh, I can just divide by b. So I'll just get b equal 10. No, it's actually cannot. So this method is actually wrong, because if you do this, you are removing one of the answer. So we will cancel this guy out. Okay, then you just bring the 10b over. Okay, then eventually also take out common term. So you get b times b minus 10. Then eventually same thing, b equals 0, b minus 10 equals 0. So this will be your two answers. So 0 and 10. Okay, 0 and 10. Then eventually this part F, same thing. Okay, we just bring the 7b over to the other side. So eventually just take out the common term, which is just b, and what you left inside will be 4b minus 7. So you have b equals 0 or 4b minus 7 equals 0. Okay, so here just bring a 7 over, and eventually no space, but yeah, as you divide by the 4, it becomes 7 over 4. Then this will in turn change into 1 3/4. Okay, so these two are answers already. So 0 and 1 whole and 3/4. Okay, so that's for question 1. Okay, then next part. Oh, these are the answers. Then I'll have this one. So this is another way of solving them. So you see that this is already factorized for you. But then you just, let me write out the question first. Okay, so something like this. Then you will still want to solve for D. So you see the square there. So d is inside a square. So what you do, you just square root both sides. So if you square root both sides, it'll be something like this. Okay, you square root both sides. So eventually the square root and the square, you just get rid of the square already. So eventually here, you square root 16, but actually is a plus minus. So why plus minus? It's because if I have a 4, so 4 square is 16. So if I have a minus 4 square, I will also get 16. Okay, so that's why whenever we square root a number, it's best if you write a plus minus, because we will have two different answers. One is -4 and one is 4. Yeah, so that's the theory behind it. So back to the question, here it will become your d minus 2 equal to plus minus of 4. So you will still get two different answers, which will become your 4 plus 2, or d equal -4 plus 2. So first answer, you will get 6. The other one is -2. Okay, so whenever you have a square root, just remember to put the plus minus. So you have a 6 and -2 here. Okay, then we have the part B. I'll use another color. Okay, so something like that. So same thing, just square root both sides. You will just get rid of the square. Then this guy, you will have a plus minus 25. So eventually, this will be a plus minus 5. Then you also have two different answers. So first one, it will be 5 minus 5, or you have a 5. Sorry, minus 5, because one is a positive, one is a negative. So -5, -5 again. Okay, then this I will get a -10. Okay, so I'll have 0 and -10 here. So same as just now, whenever you have a plus minus, you have a 4 and a -4. Then for this guy, I have a 5 and a -5. Okay, so one is positive, one is negative. So you just bring the other number over to the other side to solve them. Okay, moving on. So for part C, same thing. Okay, even though you see that 3 is not a square number, you can just square root both sides first. So as you square root, you have a plus minus square root 3. So no worries, just go ahead and you have -1 equal to square root 3, or d -1 equal to a negative square root 3. Okay, even though it's not a nice number, you can still solve them. So it will become square root 3 plus 1, then this is a minus square root 3 plus 1. Okay, eventually, as you type in calculator, you'll get 2.73, and according to 3SF, then this is negative 0.732. Then this is also 368. Okay, so you have two different answers. And it's not a very nice answer as compared to the previous two parts, but yes, it's still solving for them. Okay, I'll just write down the answer first. Okay, so for the next question, same thing. You have d plus 4 square equal 10. Then you square root both sides. Is a plus minus square root 10. Then you have d plus 4 equal to a positive 1. Then you have d plus 4 equal to the negative 1. Okay, then you just go ahead to solve them. So this is -4 minus square root 10 minus 4. Then you will have this first answer as negative 0.838368. And this guy will be minus 7.163SF as well. Okay, so two answers. So negative 0.838, this is minus 7.16. Okay, so same thing, just square root both sides first, then the one that you square rooted, for the number 1 will be plus minus. Then even though you square root, you can still go ahead to solve them. Then let's go for part Z. So, sorry, part E. So this is 6 plus E square equals 7. Okay. So yes, repeat what we learn. Square root, plus minus square root. Then you just bring over. So it's the positive 7. I bring over my 6. Or I can have the negative square root 7 minus 6. Okay. For this guy, I will get a negative 3.35. And the other one, I'll get a negative 8.65. Okay, both through 3SF. Okay, so this is a minus 3.35. This is minus 8.65. Okay, then you have part F. So part F wise, go 11. Okay, same thing, just square root. Okay, plus minus square root. Then you can bring the number over first. Okay, so I bring the D over. Okay, maybe I use other color. I bring the D over. I bring this guy over to the other side. So D, okay. So D will be on the positive side now. Then I have 8 plus minus of square root 11. Okay, so it's the same thing. I'm just bringing the number over to one side, the algebra over to the other side. Okay, then I'll have this D as 8 plus square root 11 or 8 minus square root 11. Okay, so I'll get this as 11.3, 3 as 6 feet, and then I'll have a 4.68, 3SF as well. Okay, then this is my first answer. This is my second answer. Yep. Okay, then we're moving on. Okay, so these are the answers. Okay, this is the new technique that you'll be learning. So this is called complete the square. So complete the square is just that they will want you to factorize in a way that it will appear something like this. You have a x with a number square plus a random number behind. So this is called complete the square. And this is what we'll be learning for today. Okay, so let's start with part A. So part A, you have b squared plus 4b. Okay, so the technique is that because this guy is a plus, so I'll just go ahead with starting with the factorization only. So b, then is a plus, so I'll put a plus here. The number that you see here, the 4, I'll just go ahead to divide by 2. So you see that it's a 4 over 2, I close the bracket, square. Okay, then I move on to minus whatever the number here is. Whatever this number here, I just square it. Okay, minus that number square. Then this is the end of complete square already. So eventually behind here, you are just going to simplify what you just did before. So this is a 4. Yeah. Okay. So repeating again. So you see that this number here, you just divide by 2. So this will become a 4 over 2. Then eventually I always minus this number square. Okay, so let's try for the next question. Okay, there's plenty of questions. So you'll see the technique that is actually repeating itself. Okay, so for part B, I'll just write it on this side. Okay, so same thing, this is a plus. I'll just go ahead to say b plus this number. Okay, this number, you just divide by 2. So it's a fraction, it's okay. So we just 7 divided by 2 square, and always minus whatever the number is square. And that's for the complete square already. Okay, then eventually you just simplify